right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A palatable President's Day. The big changes coming to the middle and end of this week.
Social Security checks. We know every year there's a cost of living adjustment. But do recipients get an additional bonus this year? We verify. But first tonight, a 15-year-old murdered during an attempted robbery in St. Charles.
It certainly wasn't a random act.
The suspects police are trying to find. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The shooting happened last night in a residential neighborhood near the intersection of Oak and Perry. A 17-year-old boy drove the girl a few blocks away to St. Joseph's Hospital, where she died. Our Laura Barczewski talked with investigators tonight. Laura.
Mike and Ann, St. Charles police tell me both teens are from Lake St. Louis. They went to that intersection to meet two men who suddenly opened fire. While they are still investigating what that meeting was about, they believe this was not a random attack.
It wasn't like these teenagers were just driving down a street and were just haphazardly approached by these individuals.
St. Charles police say just before 9 o'clock Saturday night, a 15-year-old girl and 17-year-old boy drove to St. Charles to meet two men near Oak Avenue and Perry Street.
When they arrived at that location and were approached by the two individuals, they announced their intent to rob them. One of the subjects pulled out a handgun.
That's when investigators say one of the men opened fire on the teens in the car, hitting the girl in the chest. The 17-year-old sped off and drove directly to St. Joseph's Hospital, where the young girl ended up dying from her injuries.
The parents of the teenagers have been contacted and being interviewed by the police department.
Lieutenant Tom Wilkeson says they're still trying to learn more about why they were meeting these two men and what exactly happened when it took a turn.
I don't have ages or real good descriptions other than it was a white male and a black male. They were not in a vehicle. They approached on foot. We were canvassing the area looking for any residential surveillance video, business surveillance video.
Wilkeson says violent crime is not typical for this neighborhood.
St. Charles is not immune to violent crime, as evidenced by this incident. It disturbs us that it happens here. We're parents ourselves. We live in this community. And we are going to be relentless in our pursuit to identify the people responsible, arrest them, and see that they're prosecuted.
I went to the neighborhood earlier tonight. The neighbors we talked with say they were not home at the time of the shooting. Police are asking for anyone with surveillance video near Oak Avenue and Perry Street to send it to them as soon as possible. You can reach detectives at 636-949-3309. Mike.
Laura, thanks. Tonight, a 16-year-old girl is recovering after she was hit by a car during a crash in downtown St. Louis. We're told the teen suffered critical injuries to her legs. Now, this happened last night at the intersection of St. Charles and 11th Streets. Police say a gray Audi did not yield and collided with another car before hitting the girl and another car. The driver of the Audi was arrested. No one else was seriously hurt.
Tonight, 4 people are recovering after a shooting inside and outside of a downtown nightclub. It happened last night at the Bismarck The Spot near Tucker and Locust. According to police, a man opened fire after a fight with security guards. One person was critically hurt. 3 others suffered graze wounds. Police are still looking for the suspect. Tonight, 2 15-year-old boys are in juvenile custody accused of carjacking a man at gunpoint. It happened yesterday morning outside Abbott EMS. That's off Southwest Avenue in the Ellendale neighborhood. Police later tracked down the stolen car and took the teens into custody. Investigators also say they recovered a weapon.
Now to a live look over downtown St. Louis tonight. It was another February Sunday in the 60s, and many of you are off for President's Day tomorrow. So what can we expect? Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with the weather forecast.
Well, you know, Mike, we started out this morning with plenty of sunshine around St. Louis. Then during the afternoon, the clouds rolled in, and we've been looking at those clouds streaming across our skies here through the evening hours and now starting to go into the overnight. No rain out of the clouds for us yet, but tomorrow it's kind of a reverse process. We're going to be watching those clouds get out of here early in the morning. Some mid-level moisture showing up on the radar screen north of Columbia, Missouri right now, but that's aloft and probably isn't reaching the ground. Got a couple of spritzes and light showers out there west of Kansas City. Again, the air is very dry, so we're anticipating the chance for a spot shower or a few sprinkles overnight tonight. Temperatures are going to hold in the mid-30s in the coldest spots to lower 40s by tomorrow morning. And then as we go through tomorrow, we expect the clouds to break up pretty quickly. And that means another very mild day on the way for St. Louis. At lunchtime, we'll be approaching 60 degrees and back into the low 60s for highs tomorrow afternoon. There will be big changes, though, coming our way towards the middle of the week. We're getting into that in about 12 minutes, Mike.
All right, Scott, thanks. Well, the Battlehawks are back, and their comeback ended with a dramatic comeback. Down 12 points, they came back in the last 90 seconds for an 18-15 victory over San Antonio. With the Battlehawks on the road, a watch party was held at Ballpark Village. A large crowd turned out. The Battlehawks were a success story in the XFL's inaugural season in 2020, but the league went bankrupt because of the pandemic. Fans and downtown bars are excited to finally have the team back.
We are thrilled to have all the fans back here at Ballpark Village and have football on the biggest screen right here in St. Louis. And everyone is super excited, super awesome to see touchdowns, tackles, 2-point conversions, all the above.
The Battlehawks' first home game at the Dome is not until Sunday, March 12th. Sports director Frank Cusimano will have much more coming up later on Sports Plus.
A mobile clinic to address drug overdose deaths is set to open soon, and it would be the first of its kind in the state of Missouri.
The goal is to increase access to care and save more lives. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay got a tour today.
We're trying to make it as easy as possible for individuals to get treatment today.
It was a dream that Aaron Laxton has been carrying with him for a while now.
So we really like to think of this first section as our reception area.
A clinic that has all the resources someone would get in an actual doctor's office, but on wheels and into areas that need it most, based on data from public health officials and listening to local leaders.
What this unit will do is it's going to put it into communities that may not otherwise have easy access to treatment options.
As the executive director of ARCA, Laxton worked with his team and several other community partners on pilot missions. Chief Operating Officer Sunil Menzies says they immediately noticed trends throughout the process.
The closer you got to the city, you began to see the need and the demand for services, or on the flip side, the lack of access, really increase and increase and increase.
That need only growing more in the northern parts of St. Louis and disproportionately affecting African American communities. Menzies says nearly half of drug-related overdose deaths in the state are happening right in the St. Louis metro area.
The immediacy of death that now results from this version of the opioid epidemic, one that fentanyl is front and center of everything, has created a really different problem.
This truck also hopes to provide peer support services, behavioral health services, and more.
Mental health and substance abuse is not something that people go out and talk about. It's not a good restaurant. It's not a great orthopedic surgeon. And so it is a very quiet, personal type of illness.
It's an illness that Laxton knows all too well.
I have 3 family members who I've lost to fentanyl overdose. Folks would have saw me years ago. I wasn't the person I am now. I was using more than I wasn't.
But because someone believed in him, Laxton doesn't want to give up on anyone else.
How I'll know this truck is a success is if we don't have any more family members that are dying, any more community members that are dying.
The walk-in clinic is completely free, no insurance is required, and no appointments are necessary. Right now, they're planning a soft launch on March 6th. Once fully operational, anyone will also be able to request the truck for an event or at a specific location.
Another Social Security raise? Tonight, we verify if recipients will get an extra $200 monthly boost. She just turned 105 and is showing no signs of slowing down.
I think you got to keep your mind and your body active in order to, you can't sit around.
The first thing she does every morning to keep her sharp as a tack.
A wet Wednesday, and some of us will hear thunder when the rain rolls in and what comes after it stops.
She was born when Woodrow Wilson was president. Buster Keaton was an up-and-coming movie star, and Babe Ruth was still a pitcher. Tonight we take you to a very special birthday party and meet a woman who makes a difference just by being an inspiration.
Happy birthday.
Sometimes the best birthday parties have a wrinkle or two. That was certainly the case at the Garden Villas Retirement Community in O'Fallon, Missouri. It wasn't the music or dancing that made this celebration special. It wasn't even the birthday cake. What made this party special was the birthday girl.
It's been a great ride.
If every day is a gift, then Irene Fee now has 38,325 gifts. Today is her 105th birthday.
I'm enjoying it immensely, and it's been going on all day.
She was born in 1918, and one of her earliest memories is going to church in a horse and buggy.
We lived about 4 miles from town, and my mother drove the horse, and we went to church.
Her first car, she says it was a Ford Model T, generally regarded as the first affordable automobile in the country.
Gasoline, when we got married in '38, was 25 cents a gallon.
Instead of things, Irene has collected moments. She's traveled all over the country and the world, including places like Australia, Japan, and her favorite, the Middle East.
You feel the antiquity and the age of things, and people are dressed, they're like you would expect in biblical times. So better go this way.
But while she's grateful for the past, Irene prefers looking forward.
She's interested in so many different things that she's just always looking for something new.
Every morning she checks the news on her computer.
She likes to keep up with the stock market. She reads the paper often. She told us once when we were on our way to lunch, she noticed the sign at the gas station. She said, "My goodness, crude oil is up."
I like to paint.
Then there's painting, embroidery, and genealogy. Irene has spent hours digging up the roots of her family tree.
I've been able to take one of my lines back to 1540 in Dublin, Ireland.
It's been 2 decades since she lost her husband of 67 years. And while grief may slow a person down, Irene believes you cannot stop.
Hello?
And that may be her secret to a long life.
I think you got to keep your mind and your body active in order to, you can't sit around.
So happy birthday to Irene Fee.
This is the wildest birthday I ever had, but it's the most fun.
Showing us all that even at 105, you never have to act your age.
We don't talk about our age. It's irrelevant.
Irene says she's moved more than 50 times in her life, but St. Louis now feels like home. A reminder, if you know an inspirational person or someone making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@kstk.com.
A public event was held today at the Pillars of the Valley art installation outside the new City Park. It commemorates the historic Mill Creek Valley, which was once a vibrant, predominantly black neighborhood in downtown St. Louis. It was demolished in the late 50s for urban development. Social Security recipients just got a big boost in their monthly payments. Our Verify team has been asked to look into claims they could get even more. Here's Brandon Lewis.
At the beginning of each year, Social Security recipients get a cost of living adjustment. But Verify viewer Doug and several others reached out to us at verifythis.com to ask about rumors that the government is going to give recipients an additional $200 a month. So let's verify. Our sources are the Social Security Expansion Act and the Congressional Record. Last June, members of the House and Senate introduced the Social Security Expansion Act. This included, among other things, a plan to give people who get retirement, disability, and survivor benefits an extra $200 a month. We checked the Congressional Record and found the bill was referred to various committees, but never went anywhere and officially died at the start of this year. So, no, Social Security recipients are not getting an extra $200 per month.
Senator Bernie Sanders, who sponsored the bill, reintroduced it earlier this week.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What can we verify for you? Email us. The email address is verify@kstk.com.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with that weather first forecast. And Scott, another day in the 60s in February. And tomorrow, a lot of people are off wondering if maybe they'll get the same kind of day.
I
Gorgeous.
think most of us are going to see that again tomorrow. Paul today took a little road trip up along the Mississippi River, going up into Pike County. And there's your Mississippi, looking for the Eagles up there. Tomorrow would be a good day to do that. Temperatures expected to be back into the 50s to around 60 degrees. So our high temperatures today, 62 in Baldwin. We had 59 in Creve Coeur, 60 over in Shiloh. So temperatures above average once again. We've seen the clouds roll in. There's a couple of little showers out here towards Kansas City, kind of a front slipping through here. It doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with. It'll try to squeeze out whatever it can. So overnight, we may get a little sprinkle. We may have a brief shower. It won't amount to much. 45 degrees right now, cloudy skies. Air's pretty dry, dew point's 31. 63 for the high this morning, 42 the low, way above average for this time of year. Mid-30s to around 40 or so for lows tonight. A little cooler to the north and west, but tomorrow it is another relatively warm day. We expect the clouds in the morning to be drifting south and east of St. Louis, pushing out of here. And that means low 60s for highs for most of us, maybe even some mid 60s on to the south. We're looking at the western satellite photo here out in the Pacific. Couple of things to notice. You've got some energy here sliding in across western Canada, dropping into the Pacific Northwest. And then we look at that spin here south of Los Angeles. That's upper level energy here that's spinning south of Los Angeles. And the moisture feed coming out of the Pacific, pretty well established. That disturbance in the Pacific Northwest kicks that western system out. And as it tries to move towards us, it creates showers, potentially even some thunderstorms. We'll have the front lifting back to the north of St. Louis, clearly in the warmer air Wednesday afternoon. We're talking highs once again well into the 60s. Showers, maybe some thunderstorms possible. Looks like the severe weather threat will be to the south of us. Not all the ingredients lining up just so for us. And then as we head into later Wednesday night and early Thursday morning, we dry out. We'll turn the winds to the west-northwest. And while we wake up Thursday morning to temperatures that may very well be right around 60 degrees heading out the door and off to school, they will drop through to the day on Thursday. And that will leave us with a chilly Friday. Once again, yet another Friday with at or below average temperatures. So 63 degrees on Monday. If you have tomorrow off, the clouds will be moving out fairly early. Pretty bright during most of the day. Clouds will start to increase during the afternoon. Mix of sun and clouds Tuesday. Wednesday's our day where we'll need the umbrellas. We will have to deal with some rain, maybe some thunder. And then the next shower chance arrives over the weekend. But temperatures will be back above average Saturday, Sunday, and into next week.
That's a pretty good Fat Tuesday. Wednesday, if it rains, a lot of us have to start behaving anyway. So, all right, thank you, Scott. Don't go to bed just yet. We have some simple and affordable tips to help you feel more rested in the morning.
Tonight, the Los Angeles Police Department is investigating the mysterious murder of a prominent Catholic bishop. 69-year-old David O'Connell was found with a gunshot wound to his upper body in his home yesterday afternoon. Detectives believe he was targeted. He was known as LA's peacemaker, ministering to Los Angeles communities afflicted with poverty and gang violence.
Classes will resume tomorrow at Michigan State University, just 1 week after a gunman killed 3 students and seriously hurt 5 others. University officials announced that the 2 campus buildings where the shootings took place will remain closed this semester. Funerals for the victims were held this weekend. The university raised $250,000 to help cover funeral and hospital expenses. Tonight, President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are sending their thoughts and prayers to former President Jimmy Carter. The 98-year-old began hospice care this weekend. The extent of his condition is not known. Carter was diagnosed with melanoma in 2015. The cancer spread to his liver and brain, but he was later declared cancer-free.
Well, it's bedtime for many of you, but do you have trouble falling or staying asleep? Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's where you sleep that could be using some upgrading. The experts at Consumer Reports reveal simple adjustments to help you sleep better.
Sleep can be so elusive. In fact, Consumer Reports surveyed more than 2,000 adults in the U.S., and 9 out of 10 said they had experienced at least one sleep challenge in the previous 12 months.
Getting a good night's rest is really about also minimizing the disturbances.
Set your thermostat to 65 degrees, the ideal temperature for sleeping.
Your core body temp cools down slightly as your body prepares for sleep.
Choose sheets in breathable fabrics like 100% cotton or linen, like this LL Bean cotton sheet set, which earned top scores for strength in CR's tests. The quality of the air in your bedroom can also affect your sleep, especially if you have allergies or asthma. In CR's tests, this Honeywell did an impressive job of removing dust, pollen, and smoke from the air. And if the air in your bedroom is too dry, a humidifier can help add moisture back in and allow you to breathe easier. Position the humidifier near the bed, raise at least 2 feet above the floor. This allows more moisture to dissipate into the air. Keep out light, which can signal your body to wake up, with blackout shades or an eye mask like this Emzu eye mask, which has adjustable straps and was a CR favorite. If you're uncomfortable, consider a new pillow. The best pillows stabilize your neck and align it with the rest of your body. For back and side sleepers, CR recommends this Coop Home Goods pillow, which can be tailored to your sleep position and comfort level by adding or removing fill.
And Consumer Reports says even the best pillows in perfect conditions won't help if you're not sleeping on the right mattress. So if you're consistently waking up sore, tired, and achy, and you've made other adjustments, it may be time to start looking for a new mattress.
Tonight, celebrating a giant symbol of our city, the decision on this date that brought the modern engineering marvel to life.
Today marks the 75th anniversary since the simple but majestic design was chosen. Architect Eero Saarinen won an international design contest. Construction wouldn't begin for another 15 years. February 12, 1963, it was finally completed in October of 1965. Saarinen never saw his design come to life. He died in 1961. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. or enjoy your day off for President's Day. Here is Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.